So here we are at Euclid Hall. We're going to be tasting Gulden Draak right now here with Chris Gray, sous chef at the Tuscany. And yeah, let's give it a good little swirl, get the air in there, see where it takes us, huh? Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Oh yeah. That is phenomenal. I'm getting solid malts, definitely full-bodied. It's really good lacing. The alcohol is so well hidden. You can't even tell it's 10.5%. Really good caramel and toffee. Are you getting that too?
I'm getting a lot of caramel and toffee. You can especially see it when you twirl it around like that. It has a nice caramel color when the head starts getting back into it.
See that? Yeah.
You know, tasting it, there's a sweetness, but when you smell it, that sweetness is really coming out in cherries, and it's kind of hidden inside of there. You really have to search for it, but you can get a very light hint of cherries on it.
I get that.
And a nice brulee, which is where I think that toffee and caramel flavor is coming from.
I can see that, just burnt sugar at its finest. What about that finish, huh?
In doing the finish, talking, tasting, breathing, and being able to take a sip and let go for a minute, it's not a quick finish, and it's not too heavy. It's very light. It coats from the mid of the palate to the back and gives you a flavor that it just makes you want to keep drinking. Just keep coating the palate with this. It's a great beer.
The finish is really long and nice. It's everlasting, but the flavor is kind of fleeting. It's very ephemeral, and it makes you want to keep taking more sips, which is, you know, what we're doing here. I think this is a phenomenal beer. Tell me, what would you pair this with for food?
If I was going to start off on a cold winter, and we're in winter right now, I would go for something like a stew or a really hearty bisque. Most of the time bisques are sweet, but I don't think this would be overkill on it.
Okay.
They'd be a nice pairing with a lobster or even something just vegetarian.
Gotcha.
Butternut squash would be great. If I were to go for an actual entree, braised short ribs would be the way that I would go. They're heavy, they're thick, but the sweetness from this combined with the heat from the short ribs would be just absolutely to die for.
Fantastic. And if you were still sipping this massive bottle all the way to dessert, what would you finish it off with?
I honestly think that I would finish off something that has a similar caramel flavor, which would be a peach bread pudding. Really sweet, really heavy, but also when you're eating that and drinking this, they would combine very well with similar flavors, not to overdo it though.
Very cool. Well, there you have it. This is Chris Gray from the Tuscany, and we were tasting Gulden Draak today. Belgium-style quadrupel, 10.5%. Phenomenal. Look for it down here at Euclid Hall. We have it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
This is NotYourDadsBeer.com.